I've been fascinated by speedrunning ever since I stumbled across a Majora's Mask speedrun for the Nintendo 64 way back in 2015. There's always been something about the act of trying to finish a game or level as fast as possible that I've always found very interesting. Whether that be the respect to the challenge and dedication to learn the tactics and tricks that many speedrunners will use to get the best time, to just watching people continue to break a game in many ways people did not know was possible, by uncovering more and more unknown glitches and hidden mechanics. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, to know that, let's talk about a little game called Hitman 3. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a super fan of the Hitman franchise. I did not jump into the series until Hitman Absolution, which is the 5th game in the Hitman series. And I mean, I liked Absolution, but it was not until IO Interactive came out with the next game in the series that I fell in love with it. Hitman 2016, which over time came out with 2 expansion-esque sequels, which just added on to the base game, becoming the completed package known as the Hitman Trilogy, which in my opinion is one of the best stealth games to date. The fact that every single player will play the game a different way, with the game being a big assassin stealth sandbox of sorts, is always fun. And one way to play Hitman that I found very much enjoyable is the Hitman speedruns. Now, I was immediately hooked, but simply watching Hitman speedruns was not enough. I need to try it myself. I needed to get in on the action, be a part of it if you will. But there was one tiny issue. I knew nothing about speedrunning, especially Hitman, like nothing, like at all. Up until the point I decided to give it a shot, the way I would normally play the game was just casually trying to sneak around, failing horribly, and then just running gunning. Which the only category that would translate to was the any percent category, which when people are doing shit like this, is fucking insane. 4 fucking seconds? Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, that was not gonna work. So I looked at the other categories and I chose what I thought would be the most impressive. The Silent Assassin Master category, which used the game's hardest difficulty and you had to achieve the highest rating possible, which is Silent Assassin, meaning no one can detect you and you can't leave a trace behind. Now you'd be wondering, why did you choose a category that sounds insanely difficult for someone who's never speedrun any game before and knows nothing of what they're even attempting? And to that, well, I guess I can say I'm just an amazing gamer and built different. Someone who really craves the challenge. And totally not the fact barely anyone attempts master difficulty runs. That's insane. Next you're going to tell me that I also decided to speedrun a single level other than a whole game because I was quote unquote too lazy to speedrun a whole game and just wanted to catch a YouTube title. Yeah, right. But on a completely unrelated note, I was thinking back to that level that someone did in 4 seconds and decided to look at the Silent Assassin master runs for that level. And I noticed that there was only 12 runs, and it was at that point that I decided this was the level I was going to attempt to speedrun. And I noticed the 3rd place time was 20 seconds. So I booted up the game and tried to play through the level as fast as I could. I think my first run was about 20 minutes, so not a great start. It probably didn't help that I had not much unlocked in terms of items, or the fact I did not learn any of the mechanics or tricks speedrunners used. I probably should have done that first. So I went back to the 3rd place run and studied that strat, unlocked the required items, and I learned more about how the game worked. And I submitted my first ever speedrun. I managed to get 21 seconds, putting me in 4th place, 1 second off tying 3rd place, but I was not satisfied with 4th place. That's not even bronze. So I grinded and I managed to shave off 1 second, therefore tying me with 3rd place at 20 seconds. But I knew I could go faster, so I decided to check out the 1st place run in the category I was doing, which was 16 seconds, just to see how there was a 4-second difference. And it turned out it was because the 1st place used a completely different strat that at first glance, I didn't even know what was going on. It was just confusing. But after learning how the AI worked and the mechanics of the game, I thought I would give it a try. But I messed up so many times by either dying or losing my Silent Assassin, therefore failing the run instantly. But I kept at it, and about after 1 day's worth of grinding, I managed to get the time of 17 seconds with a new strat. But I still had not perfected it. But with that time, it put me in 2nd place and 1 second off of a world record. And with being that close to a world record, I knew I had to go for the gold. I just had to scratch off 1 second, which I did before. How hard could it be again to only scratch off 1 second, right? Right? Well, what followed was the most annoying grind I had to face yet. And after another day's worth of grinding, nothing. I was either getting below my personal best of 17 seconds, or once again, losing my silent assassin, therefore failing the run. After 2 days of grinding, I was starting to consistently get my PB of 17 seconds, which was a lot better than my previous day, but still not the world record I was desperately after. So I grinded for another day, and nothing. Nothing was changing. I felt like there was no way I could shave off that 1 second. I thought I was going as fast as I possibly could. I was getting ready to accept second place, telling myself second place is good enough, right? But no, I snapped out of it and got back to grinding, hours on hours with no results. It was not until I joined the official Discord and asked for help, which looking back, I probably should have done from the beginning, but I'm a stubborn hard ass and I didn't think about it. But I asked what I'm doing wrong, how am I not able to do this, and an admin from the official Hitman speedrunning Discord named Solder gave me the single best advice that was gonna help me. He told me the way first place had gotten 16 seconds was to slow down time using a sniper rifle, which was something I completely overlooked and forgot that you could even do. Such a small detail that I completely overlooked, so I went back to grinding with this new knowledge. But again, hour after hour, I was still only getting 17 seconds, even with this new strat. And after a point, I just gave up. I couldn't do it. I closed the game and I went to bed, annoyed and defeated. The next morning, I woke up and I looked at my second place run, still annoyed from the night before, but I decided I'd give it a couple more shots. As I said to myself, I'll only do like 10 tries, and if I can't get it after that, it's just not meant to be. So I booted up the game and I started grinding, and attempt number 10 came around. But again, still, nothing. I felt so defeated. I did my 10 attempts and still couldn't do anything, but I decided to do one more just for good luck. And that's when something amazing happened.
Someone help me! Help!
Oh, shoot!
You got him, 47. Marcus Stuyvesant won't be a problem anymore. Let's move on to Carl Ingram. We're not done yet. We got him, 47. Soon there will be no more trouble.
I fucking did it. I managed to get the 16-second, a world record time. I actually achieved a world record in 4 days. I went from a casual running gun Hitman player who had no idea what I was doing and I never speedrun anything to achieving a world record. And a fun little thing I noticed was technically I qualified for 2 world records. One was for the category I was attempting, and the second one was for a similar category, the only difference being you had to complete the run with the outfit you started in, or suit only, Silent Assassin as it's called. So in 4 days, I went from a speedrunner newbie to a 2 world record champ. Now, you may be wondering, that's great. Are you going to attempt to speedrun more Hitman levels? Maybe even the whole game? Are you going to speedrun any other games? I have one simple answer for that. You ready? Fuck no. I hated grinding and getting tilted. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool. I have a world record, but I'm not doing that shit again. I have much respect to the people in the community who are innovating and finding new ways to speedrun Hitman, but that's just not me. I'm happy with what I achieved. I'll continue to watch Hitman speedruns, but this is where my speedrun journey ends, at least for now. And hey, if you're a fan of speedrunning, I heavily recommend you check out the Hitman speedrunning scene. It's such a fun game. It has so many cool, fun, unique categories and different fun runners that I heavily recommend you check it out. And hey, maybe even you will beat my time in Dubai. But please don't. Please don't. Please. This is all I have. Please don't do this.